Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Football, presented by Adam Lowy and the Lowy Law Firm. I'm your host, Blake Monroe, where I'm joined every day.
Blake?
Yeah.
Are we live officially?
Yeah.
On time.
Early and on time. Early by a minute. But yes, tell us what you're checking in from, what you're drinking. Get your questions in. We'll get to those here in a little bit. We got a loaded show today, a lot of guests. But guys, we are 10 days away from kickoff. I'm not even going to ask who everyone's favorite number 10 is, because I'm pretty sure the majority of people are going to have one answer and one answer only. That, of course, being Vince Young. I mean, I don't even know where to start on this. I'll just let y'all take it.
Well, I tell you what, I watched the documentary yesterday, The Untold Story on Vince Young. It was tremendous, and it was both spine-tingling at times and humbling at others, appropriately so. Followed his career not just through University of Texas, but also in the pro football ranks, and then beyond a little bit too. But Vince Young, clearly the number 10 for the University of Texas. Tremendous player, tremendous representative during his time at the University of Texas, and still one of the seminal figures of college football in the 21st century, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it a little last night on Longhorn live stream, Jeff, CJ, and I, but it was when Vince and TJ Ford came through Houston area at the same time, and yes, they both ended up at Texas, but that time in high school sports in the Houston area was as good as I've seen in terms of two players galvanizing a city, couple of counties there, right? And those are just some of my best high school memories. Not me in high school, but my memories of high school athletics is, and I say that because it started with Vince and the Astrodome. It started even before that. Whoever went to, the Butler and Del Mar and all the stadiums he played at, but him and TJ Ford, and they were a year apart in terms of graduation. What those guys did for the city of Houston in high school athletics before Vince became the Vince that he went on to be at the University of Texas was really, really special.
How much of a heel is Jeff Fisher? That's what I would just say. That was definitely a takeaway from that show for me. Just a incredible heel. Hey, we also had guys Arch Manning and Justin Cryer yesterday come to the mic. We also met with Bo Masco, the corner from Rutgers. Blake, what do you have for us from those as well? Oh, wait, Peter Gardere too. Only quarterback to beat OU 4 times.
Yep, definitely. So what I have in terms of Arch this morning, he was asked quite a bit about his different wide receivers and running backs. I took all of that and I cut it up, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, Cam, just the way he works and him as a person has helped the other receiver, and they're all close. The way he attacks every day has definitely motivated the rest of the receivers, and it's been a fun time since he's been here. Emmett's had a really good fall camp. He practices his ass off. But he's a really good player, and I think he's going to have a great year. Yeah, I mean, he can surprise me every day. All of them are making really good catches. Emmett, Ryan, Weeze, Jermaine Bishop, Chris Stewart, Cohen, all those guys. I'm excited for the whole group. I've thrown some bad ones, and they make me look good too, so it's been fun. Yeah, Jermaine, if I had to characterize, it's like football kind of comes easy to him. That's the biggest compliment I have for him. He's a natural athlete, and everything kind of comes easy to him. He works really hard, though. It's great. They're dynamic players, can score from anywhere on the field, and just good guys, so I'm glad they're on my team. Well, they're both so good out of the backfield, smart, consistent, and just can make highlight-level plays at any time.
I mean, that is the best compliment you can give somebody, right? Football just comes easy to them. Whatever sport it is just comes easy to them. Like that's what you want to be able to say about a guy that you're throwing the football to. I mean, we talked about that with Derek Johnson yesterday. You know how some guys, it just, yeah, they're great athletes, but it's very natural and it looks at times easy for them. That's a hell of a compliment that he just gave Jermaine Bishop.
You know, of all the things he said yesterday, though, Jerry, the one that stood out to me, Arch said, "I want to start quicker this year." That's exactly right. That's good, right? That means his brain is appropriately focused. And you could talk about the platitudes of the different players and shout outs he gave, et cetera, even to Will Muschamp at times. I thought that the fact that he said, look, we need to start quicker in 2026. That tells me that he understands that in 2025, they did not.
No.
And that can't be the case this year. So really, I thought of all the things he said yesterday, that's the one I circled and said, okay, he gets it. And I'm not worried about him getting it. He's hearing it from not only from coaches probably and media, but he's hearing it from himself internally. So I thought that was probably the most revealing thing he said to me yesterday at the podium.
Okay, guys, here in just a moment, we're going to have Coach Shannon Hall join us. He's going to be talking Cameron Hall. Jerry set that up for you guys. But first, Bobby, before we get to him, I'm going to let you tell everyone about our Wednesday sponsor. That is Adam Lowy and the Lowy Law Firm.
Yeah, special thanks to Adam and his group, LowyLawFirm.com. If you've been injured in a car wreck, truck wreck, automobile accident of any kind and think you might be due compensation, reach out to Adam and his firm. They'll give you a free, no-strings-attached consultation to see if you might be due compensation. They've been in the Austin area and around the state for more than 20 years now. Reach out to him at LowyLawFirm.com. That's LowyLawFirm.com. He's a University of Texas Law School grad. Just met with some of the 1Ls at the Texas Law School earlier this week as they started their first year of law school. So reach out to Adam. His group supports not only on Texas football, also Texas athletics and the university as a whole. Again, that is LowyLawFirm.com.
Thank you, Bobby. And we'll get back to those crier clips. But like I said, Jerry, let's go ahead and bring in Coach Hall. I'm going to let you do this introduction.
Yeah, Coach Shannon Hall of Mansfield Summit, entering, I believe, 11th year, if not 12th at Summit, had a state semifinal run. Has had some really good teams, a lot of talent at that school, both in football and basketball. But Coach Hall, thanks for joining us today to give Texas fans your thoughts on Cameron Hall, Texas commit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Very excited to be on with you guys. Listen to you guys often, but yeah, y'all are getting a good one in Cameron Hall, even though there's no relation, but he has a great last name. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Coach, you got to tell the Texas fans. I tried to tell them on a show about the scrimmage, and it was, he only got a few plays, but he made the most of them. And I think the Keller staff was like, "Get this guy off the field. We've seen enough," right?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. So, on the scrimmage, I'm kind of moving around behind the offense, behind the defense, wherever. So Cam, I'm counting down his plays, and he has like 2 left. So I'm kind of behind the Keller offense, and I'm yelling, hey, you got 2 plays left, make something happen. Cam's looking at me like, I got you. Keller coach is like, oh yeah, 2 plays, And so the first play, after I said that, he makes 1 sack. So of course the Keller coach is there yelling some things like, come on, we got 1 more play, do whatever. And the next play, again, Cam just kind of long arm the guy, goes inside or something. Guy kind of gets a hold and all that good stuff. And then Cam jogs off the field and they're like, all right, here we go. They're pretty excited about it, but he's special, man. And he can turn it on and people know he's coming and he's just hard to deal with.
Coach Hall, thank you again for joining us. I had a question for you. What position do you think Cam Hall will eventually be best at long term? And is he an edge guy? Is he an interior guy long term? Is he a guy that can play both, maybe like a Lance Jackson, where he can be a 3 or a 5? Or what do you think he is?
I think he can be a 3 or a 5 because I think he's going to be heavy enough. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's 263 right now, and looks like he's 233. So he's going to get on campus, start eating 3 meals a day with the protein and creatine, and he's going to be 285 in December, in a hurry, and he's going to be able to run always. I think he's, probably a 4.6 guy right now, or better. I mean, he can run with our skill guys. So he's only going to get faster, stronger, all the things. So he's going to be long enough to set the edge, heavy enough to be a problem inside. So I think he'll be both, and I think you guys are using well.
Hey, Coach, talk about he was interesting to talk to because he didn't really, I think, start having long-term football dreams until maybe going into his sophomore year. He kind of explained to me. I think he said he was around 6'2", 195 as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can probably say closer to exactly what he was, but when did you kind of know that he could end up being a national recruit?
Yeah, well, he was just so natural at everything. He has a big foot, right? So you just knew he was going to keep getting longer, keep getting bigger. And he was just a kind of a thick kid. And really, he was in the gym. He wasn't on our basketball team, but he's playing like AAU basketball and doing all the things. And he's kind of missing those weights. But he's still a good football player. He's naturally aggressive. Did some good things naturally, but kind of was missing the football part of things. And I just remember one day telling his mom, like, hey, I know he has some hoop dreams, but just give them to us. Give them to the weight room, my strength and conditioning guy, give him to my D-line coach. And if he keeps growing like I think he is, I said he's going to be special. And then, one day she was just like, Coach, you got him. I trust you. Let's go. And he got in the weight room. I think I took a picture like sophomore year, and he's like 195, but just long and rangy. And I'm like, it just seems like 2 months of just weights, not running up and down that court. And he's 225, and then from there, he just kept going. And you just knew when you're that long and you're such a great kid and you work like that, you just know good things are coming.
How focused is he on football, Coach? Like, does he love football? Is he mentally mature in that way? Like he's always working out? What are some of those attributes?
Yeah, man, he's a worker. Like he doesn't duck the work, he's not consumed with all the other things teenagers could be consumed with. He's kind of homebody, mama's boy, and likes to work. Everybody on the team loves him. He wants to be good. He's never satisfied. You can coach him hard as you can. He's not going to put his head down when you chew him out a little bit. My voice is hoarse now, but and I'm not the one yelling, but some other guy, we get after it. The standard is high, and you don't get any special treatment at Summit High School. So if you're going to be that dude, you're going to have to bring that every day. And that's what his D-line coach holds him to. That's what my defensive coordinator holds him to. And he knows that. So he's trying to please people, and we're not very pleased right now.
Hey, Coach, this is a question I kind of don't want to ask, but I think it's a good question from the chat. The question is, who is the toughest test for Mansfield, Summit, and district play this year? And I brought that up because you guys in Cam Hall, y'all are going to play against some real teams with this new district this year. It's going to be great competition.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, we're in the District of Doom, in this 5A Division I. So everybody's pretty good. But, in the state of Texas, you want to win that ring. I got our basketball team has 2 of them. So we got that on for you guys. But, DeSoto has that ring, and they're the champions. So, just on the surface of things, you got to give them their respect because they have what everybody wants. So they're going to be sitting on top of that mountain until somebody knocks them off. And Coach Matthew does a great job of motivating those guys, and his standard is super high. So it's going to, how those guys are going to bring it, but so you're always going to say that by default because they have what you want. But I really think that it's going to be a fun season because everybody's on go. Everybody knows, the temperature of the district, and they can say about whatever they want about us and put us whatever they want, but we've been working too, so we're gonna see.
For those that don't know, that new district includes Cedar Hill, who moved down, DeSoto, who moved down, Lancaster, Midlothian. I mean, it is a great Friday night district. If you live in that DFW area, there's going to be some great games to watch, great talent in that district, really good coaches, accomplished.
Yeah. And, if you want to play on the next level, you want to be big time, like this is what you want, right? Everybody's going to talk about all those guys. Everybody's going to be at those games. Hey, so show up, make a name for yourself. So that's what we're talking about, since it came out, and we'll be ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, as competitive, that's all you want, I like those high intense games, and our kids will be ready for it.
I gotta say this because I was talking to Bruce Chambers. This had to be 10 to 15 years ago. And Bruce, I mean, Coach Chambers, former Longhorn assistant, now I think in Arlington ISD. He was telling me about Hassan Ridgeway, another Mansfield product. And it's so funny because you described earlier when you just described Cameron Hall, you described, in ninth grade, he had big feet. And I'll never forget Bruce Chambers telling me that Hassan Ridgeway had big paws. in Texas, recruited him early, like a sophomore, junior year. Yeah. And at the time, Hassan Ridgeway was like 6'3" or 6'4". I mean, Jerry, what was he? 220 pounds, 250.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, well, he's going to be an ed." And all of a sudden, but Bruce Chambers was like, "I don't care." It's like,
let's go, right? Yeah.
Going out there. That reminds me a little of Cam Hall and how you described him.
Yeah, no, 1,000%, man. He just, and every time I tell him, like, yeah, he's this big, talking to the recruits early in the recruit session, like, yeah, he's that big. And they're really kind of like, is he really that big? I'm like, yeah, he's really that big. And then you see him, they're like, okay, he's that tall. I'm like, yes, he is. I'm going to tell you the truth because I know you're going to come see him. He's a big human being. He's a large young man. So it's always fun when you see that. So it's cool.
Can you point to a couple? Oh, go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I have one question. NIL, transfer portal, all this stuff. I'm agents, by the way. I want to put that in there that have kind of infiltrated the high school system. When I was growing up, and when a lot of people that are watching this, and you included,
right,
was growing up, the high school coach had a lot to do with a player's recruitment. Like, was really, I don't want to say shepherding it, but overseeing it, or had a little bit of, you know what I mean? Today, in your time, Coach Hall, what's that like for y'all? Is it unfortunate that you don't get as much, or is it just player by player is different? What's the difference today in recruiting for y'all compared to even 10 years ago, Coach?
Right. It's changed, right? Because all those dynamics when it comes to the money and things like that, I stay out of that world because everybody's situation is different. But what I do like is the straight line recruiting. A lot of guys do, and a lot of the coaches, they're here, right? You got the I-20 corridor and DFW, so everybody's always here. And when you build those relationships, you've been here a long time. I've been a head coach for 16 years, been here 11, so I know a lot of those guys, so I can get a good phone call and have those relationships. And and the parents trust that information, that's coming. So it hasn't gone as crazy as I thought it would. And they kind of just let you, hey, and I'm just giving to the parent, giving to the kid. And once that relationship starts, it kind of goes there, you know what I mean? When I let them deal with it and stay out of that world. But, the coaches are in this office, and I feel like, especially the coaches around here, they're here and they want to talk, because I feel like if you're going to do it right, you're going to go talk to the people that with them every day and know how they are academically, know how they are when school is out, what are they doing? Like, you're only going to get that from the guys that are sitting in this building and that are around them every day. And again, some people have different relationships, and some people do a great job and do it for the right reason. You know what I mean? And they're not looking for their check. They're trying to look out for the best interest of that kid. And I love those people because we're speaking the same language, right? So most of the parents that I've have dealt with, the people they've dealt with kind of speak the same language. And you know, and it's good to trust those guys, and they've done a phenomenal job with Summit kids.
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us once again. You're so busy. By the way, for those that don't know Coach Hall, he has some sons that were really good hoopers. Played college ball. We've had a lot of conversations. His daughter's a good young volleyball player in high school, so he's balancing a lot with this football head coaching thing as well. But my last question for you: where's a couple of areas you see Cam has improved from last year to this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing that we probably want to see from Cam is just that continuous motor, you know, and he the one thing he's improved of is he's available. Like, he is on there. He knows, like, I need to be here and I need to do all the different things. Like, you know, you get bumped a little bit and you're like, hey, come out here. Like, no, I'm good. You know, because we want to protect, just like the scrimmage. If I wouldn't have took him out, he would have stayed in there the whole time, you know. So that maturity and growth and, like, wanting to be dominant, wanting to be a leader, holding guys accountable has been great, you know. And he's always, like I said, everybody loves him. He works his tail off. You can coach him hard. So I want him to be the district defensive MVP. Like, that's the goal, right? So everybody has these dogs. Everybody's talking about everybody. So let's go. If you want to do that, you have to produce like that, play like that, work like that. And whatever you fall is what it's going to be, right? Because when you get to Texas, everybody's all-state, 4-star, all that things. But what is going to make you different when it's you versus you? So that's what he's been working on, and he's accepted that challenge, and I'm proud of him.
All right, Coach Hall, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate the time.
Yes,
and it was great to see you guys last week. He does a great job at Mansfield Summit. Always welcoming. One place I don't even have to call ahead, so I always appreciate you for that. You just knock on the door and he's there.
No doubt. You, Coach. Appreciate you guys.
You have a good one, Coach.
Have a great year.
Yep, too, man. Good luck to him. District of Doom.
Oh,
I just like that. Like, oh yeah, I've been in that district for 10+ years. No thanks.
Yeah, it's. By the way,
I go to work.
His son's a really good hooper. Probably end up playing overseas. Really good, really good hooper.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Huh. Well, thank you, Jerry, for setting that up.
Yeah.
And I also need to say thank you to Prize Picks this morning, if y'all don't mind, because we're always looking for ways to make watching games a little more fun. That's exactly why we love Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports pick app, and honestly, it's about as simple as it gets. For player picks, all you do is choose more or less on a few player stats. You lock in your lineup, you're ready to roll. But if you're someone who likes picking teams instead of individual players, well, Prize Picks has you covered there as well. You can now pick the winner. You can pick the spread or the total on games and even fights. And of course, Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Florida, and right here in the Lone Star State. So chances are you can jump in today. One of my favorite features is that you can follow users on the app. If you like the picks they're making, you can tell them with one click, and you can follow your friends' picks as well. But the best part is, if you've never tried Prize Picks before, play your first $5 lineup. If you win, you're going to get $150 in bonus lineups. Just make sure to use code HMA when you sign up. They actually just updated this offer, so there's never been a better time to get started. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA. Play that first $5 lineup, and if you win, you're going to get $150 in bonus lineups. That's Prize Picks, code HMA. Good luck to you, and as always, play smart, play responsibly, play Prize Picks. And Jerry, I'm going to let you tell everyone about my favorite store. That's Shields.
That's definitely the Monroe's favorite store. Get ready, Austin and Longhorn fans. The all-new Shields is opening August 29th in Cedar Park, and it's like nothing you've ever seen. Over 300,000 square feet packed with the best in sporting goods, hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, and all things sports. Try top brands, test out the latest gear, and get expert help from people who love sports as much as you do. Again, mark your calendar. Coming up quickly, August 29th, Saturday, Cedar Park Shields grand opening. Your next adventure starts here, and I think that is the truth.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jerry, we're actually going to talk and bring in someone that is the store leader of Shields, and that is Lucas Hackmeister. How you doing, Lucas? Oh, you've got your mute on, Lucas. You got your mute on.
Rookie mistake. How's everybody doing?
Good. Hey, we're glad you're joining us. We've been talking up Shields for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Y'all are opening on August 29th. What do you got in store for everybody when it comes out there?
Yeah, it's gonna be quite the party. I know you're talking football all day, so no puns intended, but it's really our Super Bowl, you might say, kicking off Saturday. We've got a party starting at 7 a.m. out in the parking lot. We've got some experiences with some of our brands that are local to us, like Yeti and Dakovas will be out there. We're doing giveaways every 20 minutes. We've got gift cards that we're giving out in some of those giveaways, ranging from $25 to $1,000. We've got skydivers coming in for part of the ribbon cutting process. So we've got them coming in to do national anthem. We'll cut the ribbon, we'll open the doors, and then you said it best. It's nothing like most people have ever experienced. And watching the video, it sure looks a lot different today than last time we had on here.
I was gonna say Ferris wheel, golf simulator. A bow and arrow section. I mean, dude, this place is maxed out. What are some of your favorite features? There's a Ferris wheel in the background there. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really pick just one or two areas, right? Like there's literally something for everybody. And we really try to focus on the experience portion of it. So one, we want you to come in and check out the actual product. We have a great selection just so you can pick it up, touch it, feel it, look at it. But we've got the Ferris wheel, and I don't care if it's the kids or it's the adults. Everybody loves it. We've got a 14,000-gallon saltwater aquarium with about 400 fish in there. 3 days a week, we've got divers in there. That's probably my favorite part, honestly. Kids love running up and seeing the fish. My favorite's watching adults walk in the front door, and they see the aquarium. You can't miss it right when you come in. And there's a diver in there, but at first you can watch the expressions on their face, like the thoughts are the expressions, right? At first it's confusion on what am I looking at, what's going on here. And as they get closer, they put it together like that's actually a person inside the tank right now feeding the fish and diving. And that's fun watching them get excited about that. We've got that shooting gallery that I saw you in the video checking out. That's always a good time. We've got a mini rollerball. We've got a candy shop, cafe. It goes on and on. It's like a Disneyland of retail.
Hey, Lucas, what's the kid to parent ratio on the Ferris wheel?
Oh, that's a great question. It's probably 50-50. I don't think it's, everybody assumes it's just for the kids, but last night we did a pretty cool training deal with all of our crew. We had about 500 community members come in and just honestly, all we let them do is walk around and check out the store, but it helped our crew as they were doing some, we call them scrimmages, just some, role-playing, scenario-based, hey, let's get ready for Saturday. It was great having real-life customers in here. And on the wheel, we were running it. It was probably awesome seeing everybody checking it out. It was fun.
Lucas, got to tell us about some Texas gear and that kind of stuff that you have. I know you said this when I was out there. You were saying this whole section will be Texas, and then other colleges too. But then also you got a whole pro section. I mean, when I tell you it was like I don't know, as big as a house. I don't know how many thousand square feet that area was, but it wasn't tiny. What all kind of stuff do you have for the Longhorns?
Well, the cool thing about our UT shop, I think, is we've got the game day gear, right? You've got your t-shirts.
Did we lose him here, guys?
I think we lost him.
May have.
All right. Well,
I think that's perfect though. That Texas fans have to go see it for themselves now.
Look, I'm gonna help Lucas out here because when I was at Shields the other day, I took a picture of the UT section.
Oh, that's awesome, Blake.
This is just one side of it. That's not counting all the stuff behind me and around. So there you go. That's at one of their locations there. So as you can see, a ton of Texas gear.
Yeah, it looks like, look, I was out there and it's a phenomenal store. It's a really cool location. The whole place is just built. I think they have a Nebraska Furniture Mart next to them as well out in Cedar Park. They get going at noon on, obviously, they get going at noon on August 20, or excuse me, noon, 7 a.m. on August 29th. That's this coming Saturday. You guys, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out there a little bit hanging out. I'm going to go over there, check it out with my wife. So come on out, join the fun, and that'll be the 29th, this coming Saturday out in Cedar Park. Make sure you check it out. Shields. Oh, there you go. Manning jersey.
Yeah,
Good
you can buy
stuff.
autograph stuff. You can buy your gear and apparel. They got everything.
And Blake literally went to the Shields 2 weeks ago in the Colony.
Yes.
Up in the DFW area. How much did you lay down for a school clothes for the kids?
Over $2,000. So if Lucas hears this,
At what point did you get that husband? I can't believe it's getting to be this much look on your face.
Pretty early on, it didn't take long. I will say another thing that's cool about them. Like we had to get Tate a helmet because he's a wide receiver and he's a diva and he has to have his own helmet instead of the school issued one. And they didn't have his in stock, but I went and paid for it there. They had like a little tablet deal. It was at my house 2 days later. So free shipping. So if they don't have it in stock, they will order it for you right there. You don't have to pay shipping on it, and it shows up at your door within a couple of days. Very cool.
Somebody in the chat asked where the company originated from. I'm pretty sure it's Fargo, North Dakota. I think it's in North Dakota.
Yep. Absolutely.
So anyway, but I want to thank them for coming on, and don't forget this weekend to go check it out there in Cedar Park. All right, guys. Let's see. We're going to have Tony Hills join us, I believe, here in a little bit as well. So we have 3 guests for y'all today. But I want to get back to some of these clips because we didn't get to finish those out here. And Justin Cryer also took the mic yesterday. He was asked about the freshman linebackers. Here's his response.
They're fearless. I'll give that credit to them right now. They are fearless. I told them today, like, there's no such thing as I'm just a freshman. Like, we are gonna. I mean, it's no secret. We're pretty thin at the position. So we're gonna go into each game knowing that, like, they gotta come ready to play. Whenever the number is called, like, they're gonna have to go out there and give it everything they got. So there's no such thing as like. This is my freshman year. Like, we're gonna have to count on them. So I give credits to them all the time. Like Kosi, I feel like he's last week he had a pick 6, and he's pretty excited about that. But again, he's been playing well. Tyler Atkinson is a really physical player, someone who's really real. I guess he has a big personality, but he's also another student of the game. And Rocky's like 6'3", 6'4", dang near. Just super physical guy. So I feel like all 3 of them, they're the future of our group, and we're going to not only need them in the future, we're going to need them now. So
It was Juice Cryer's first time before Texas media yesterday. And I actually texted Jerry this separately. First time really talking to him. Super thoughtful answers, complete answers. You could tell that he wasn't just trying to regurgitate things he had been told to say. You can see why a coach like Will Muschamp might want to trust a guy like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I mean, it's clear he can communicate his thoughts and feelings to a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons why I bet he's the green dot guy for the University of Texas. Yeah. Not saying that's decided yet, but I think that's where it's headed.
Yeah, and I 100%, and I love listening to that interview with him. That was a great interview. And I'll make a prediction on him. He'll be a defensive coordinator one day if he wants to coach. He sounded like a future defensive coordinator to me.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think he could also end up being an executive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an intelligent young man who has his head screwed on right and is clearly going to maximize. Now, I don't know that he's going to play in the NFL, but I think he's going to try to do as much as he can. to get something like that going.
One thing he said that I love, Bobby, was that he kind of talked about that have 1 year, one chance to get this thing done. And that's what we talked about with that portal class is, Juice Cryer he got the FSU. They're kind of riding the high. It hasn't been that high. Cam Coleman's never been to a bowl game. Hollywood Smothers, they played on decent teams, right? Biles played on a good Pitt team, but not a national contender for anything really. You go down the injury far. Bo Masco got their butts kicked in the SEC and in the Big Ten. These guys they come to Texas very similar in that they haven't been on a really good football team. And this is a lot of these guys, it's their last year in college. And if they all kind of band together for that common goal, I think that portal class can really elevate this team even more than talent. Because some of those guys are talking to guys at Texas, say, man, we hadn't been on a team even like y'all had last year. So I think these guys are preaching we got one shot at this thing and thinking they got one shot at this thing. It's a pretty good place to be if you're Sark with these portal guys. And Siani the same thing at Wake Forest. It's one thing to be really talented. It's another thing to be talented and feel like if this is your last year in college, Cryer mentioned the 5 for 5. Maybe it's his last year, maybe it's not, but he's planning on it being. All those guys come together and say, we have one shot to be on a really good team. We got to get this done. It's a pretty good spot to be in. It's just kind of funny how it all worked out with all those portal guys, the situations they came from.
I mean, look, 8 to 9 guys, portal guys going to start for Texas.
Yeah.
Now, varying levels, some of them are 2-year guys like Emmett Mosley, like Brad Spence. But I'm impressed by what they did in the portal. And, talking to some guys behind the scenes, they had a plan. It wasn't, it didn't come together mysteriously, right? Texas has a chance this year. If everything comes together, I'll be excited about what the results are. But Cryer, Bo Masco was also in front of the media yesterday. I will tell you this about Bo Masco. Man of few words.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say. And I think if he plays, Texas does play Florida State, and Miami. Okay. 3 or 4 times he said, I was not offered by any in-state school.
Yeah.
If there is a game that will be circled on Bo Masco's list, it will be Florida.
Yes.
So
100%.
keep that in mind when Eric Singleton or Dallas Wilson or those guys, he's manned up on those. That's going to mean a little something to Bo Masco, the transfer from Rutgers by way of the Tampa area.
I thought it was funny. He thought Austin was going to be some country town. I'm like,
oh yeah, we're going to have a horse. I thought there would be horses.
You're from Kissimmee and play for the Osceola Cowboys. What are you talking about here, man?
I said Tampa. Sorry. Yeah.
Kissimmee's closer to the country than Austin is. You go south about 10 miles from Kissimmee and it's pastures on the Florida Turnpike. Dude, you came from country.
We got a comment here from William Henderson talking about Juice. He said his answer about the fit with him and Biles was transparent and masterful. I actually pulled that clip before the show, so I want to play it as well.
With us, we just kind of clicked when we first got paired up together, going out there. I'll give a lot of credit to him. He's someone who I'm very vocal. I take charge, and he's someone who kind of let me do me, and he's someone who we kind of bounce off each other very well. And so when you have someone like that who can kind of with that chemistry, we just build something over time throughout the spring and throughout the summer where we just flow together naturally, and I feel like we are a good duo and good complement to each other.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jerry?
I think Cryer knows who he is as a player. And I think that's as important as anything for any athlete is, do you know who you are as a player? And are you accepting of who you are as a player? And he kind of spoke to that. I know what I was brought here to be and what I was brought here to do. And I think because he is such a smart guy, he knows that him and Biles are different players and they have to mesh that together and they both have to maximize what they do. with what Muschamp's going to ask them to do to help maximize this defense. And I think Cryer gets it. He's a gets it guy. That's what I would say about him. When he talked about, I know what I was brought in here to do. I know what this role is. That had to be so, to your point, Bobby, or that had to be so impressive to Will Muschamp the first time he talked to him. When Muschamp says, this is what I see you as, this is what I'm bringing you in here to do. And he said, that's who I am. I mean, that's a really big thing for a coach to hear, that a guy knows who he is as a player and is going to be accepting of the task he's asked to perform.
We're going to have Tony Hill join us in just a moment. But first, Bobby, can you tell us about Mint Mobile this morning?
I could do it. Look, Mint Mobile, $15 per month for unlimited plans right now. Free yourself from Big Wireless and their gimmicks and gotchas, and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. I did it for my kids and saved some money. Mint Mobile took what's wrong with wireless and made it right with premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk, and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your current phone and number, choose from 3, 6, or 12-month plans, and say goodbye to your monthly bill. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile. It's so easy. Sign up online and get 3 months of premium wireless for service for $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for $15, go to mintmobile.com/ontexas. That's mintmobile.com/ontexas. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/ontexas. There is no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. That plan is required. $15 per month equivalent, like we discussed. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only, greater than 50 gigabyte may slow when network is busy, includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot, capable devices, required availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com for details. That's mintmobile.com/ontexas.
And I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you all about Mars. When I hit my mid-30s, I started noticing things just weren't as easy as they used to be. I'd do the same workouts, I'd have the same gym and the same diet routine, but recovery felt slower, my energy wasn't as consistent, and some days it just felt like I was moving through mud. That's one of the reasons I started taking Mars Men. It's designed to support healthy testosterone levels, energy, and stamina with 8 natural, clinically dosed ingredients. What I like is it doesn't feel like you're pounding caffeine. You don't get that jittery feel. It's more about that steady energy and steady drive throughout the day. Not to mention that some men report better performance and recovery in the gym. It's made in the USA, it's third-party tested, and it's backed by a 90-day money-back guarantee. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that Coffee and Football with Tony Hill sent you. Good morning, Tony.
What's happening, man? Listen, shout out to all the brothers that's going to get their T levels up, man. You know what I mean? We got to get strong in this thing. It's strong. The season for strength is upon us, a.k.a. football season. Let's go, baby.
Hey, Tony, by the way, Tony segment now brought to you by our friends at ProLeet. We'll tell you about those in a minute. Tony, Longhorns, second scrimmage. All we heard coming out of it, Arch looked a little lethargic. Arch did this, and there were 4 turnovers. And what are we going to do? Woe is me.
Yeah,
you've heard that rallying cry before when you were here. What do you hear that as a former player? Marcus, I talked to him about it. Rod, etc. What do you think of when you hear things like that, knowing that these scrimmages are zero-sum games?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say this, and I heard Marcus talk about this, and he was absolutely right? You never know what the offense or the defense is working on. There's been times where we wanted to get plays done, right, just so that we could take a look at how it look against the defense, and we might call a play that we know might not work against this particular defense, but this is the only time in the scrimmage that we have to run it, so we're going to call it. What people have to understand is that when you're in training camp, you're not game planning for the other side like that. These are the people that you're practicing against. You're wanting to sharpen your sword, right? And so there'll be some plays where, like on the offensive side, they when they see a certain look that the defense is giving, they know that's a touchdown play. The defense might not check out of it. Why? Because this is the only time that we get to run it. So when you start talking to me about him having turnovers in training camp, I'm like, well, what is he working on? Is he working on throwing in tight windows? Well, now would be the great time to do it. There's no consequence for throwing an interception against my team if I'm working on a particular thing. It'd be like me. Sometimes I would want to work a jump set, and I know at this particular juncture, this is probably not the best place to do it. But at the same time, if I never do it, it's never going to get done, right? And so, I just think what happens is people are very reactive. And a lot of times the wisdom of the game is not bestowed upon everybody. So they just look at what they see as opposed to understanding the nuances of the game, and which is, why we bring people on to talk about these things. So now I'm not too worried about Arch. Arch is a gamer too, man. Some people, myself included, we're just not practice players. Like we try our best. We want to be the best. We go out there. But at the same time, there's some people in their DNA, when those lights come on, something special happens, man. And so if you look at Arch's body of work towards the latter part of the season, he shows you that that's what it is. It's not to say that he doesn't, know he needs to do better. He needs to protect the ball. But at the same time, we're not going to stifle his ability to make plays because he's throwing interceptions in a training camp. That's foolish to me.
Hey, Tony. Go ahead, Bob. Well, I was going to ask Tony.
I had this, Gary. I'm sorry. Had to ask this. Lawrence Seymour.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was held out of the scrimmage on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yet, and still is not, he's back at practice, but he's not in on every play and all this other stuff. But I'm being told that he's still likely to be your starting left guard.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Kojo, obviously
really
taking place with Trevor Gooseby, and Jerry has some updated injury news on that on TexasFootball.com that he released this morning. But my question for you is, those two aren't going to get a lot of time together heading into Texas State. Do you still go with Lawrence Seymour, even though he's not practicing, every bit of every day? Or do you go with Dylan Sikorsky, who's in there and practicing every moment?
You go with your best player, and the reality is that, if Seymour is your best player, that's the route that you're going. And you'll have the confidence of knowing if something happens to Seymour, then you got a guy behind him that you trust, right? Which is the importance of building depth. And so with Seymour's situation, I'll be curious to know what are they monitoring? Right? Is it because I know he's coming back off of injury? So what are they monitoring?
I think it's an Achilles / ankle, something to do with the lower leg.
Yeah,
and they're resting him. It's not like it's not a stamina problem.
Yeah,
that sort of thing is my understanding. It's more of, hey, we just don't want to overexert that area, and they're bringing him back and having him play every so often. But not every down, like not every rep,
Yeah. So one of the things, so I always look at the experiences that I've had. And so when I was in New Orleans, there was an offensive lineman as a tackle by the name of Teron Armstead. Amazing talent, super talent. I think he's going into the Saints Hall of Fame, as a matter of fact. But he had injury issues. So a lot of times because I was a swing tackle, I would get a lot of the first team reps, knowing that when we get to the game, it's this brother's, role to go in there. But if something happens, I'm ready to go. So I've seen it work, and if you are dealing with those lower extremity injuries, specifically with a guard, you don't want to, put all of those practice reps on his body. You need to get him to the game, right? And so you talk about the continuity of offensive linemen, which, you say, okay, well, what does that look like? Well, the reality is this is the reason why you scrimmage, I say scrimmage, but this is the reason why you schedule a team like Texas State, to be able, as a team that can give you, a good look. But at the end of the day, everybody knows what the end result of this game is going to be. And I know I just maybe made some clickbait, but who cares? You still got to play on the field, right? And so that becomes the opportunity for you to really be able to get those reps in, because I know the cliche, but I'm retired now, so I can speak real. I know the cliche is you never want to look past the team. The reality is you're looking at Ohio State.
100%.
You're looking at Ohio State, and so everything that you're doing right now, resting the players, allowing Arch to throw balls in tight windows, and him throwing interceptions and all of these type of things, you're preparing for Ohio State. And so when we get to Texas State, whoever is out there, those two individuals on the left side, they'll have their opportunity against live competition to see how they operate, so that when they get ready for the next week, they're locked and loaded.
Hey, Tony, I want to ask you this. If you could sit down and have a conversation with Andre Kojo,
yeah,
what would that be? And now let me lay this out. He has 33 career snaps.
Yeah.
He missed all last year. And Trevor Goosby's less than 50% that he's going to play against Texas State. And why would you play him against Texas State?
Yeah.
But what would that conversation be with Kojo? He's literally making his first college start at left tackle, protecting Arch's blind side. He has no experience doing that, and he has 33 career snaps. What would your advice to him? What would you talk to him about going into that?
I would. The first thing I would say to him is, Abraham Lincoln once said, the greatest way to predict the future is to create it. So you have an opportunity right now to create something special. This is your opportunity. Everything that you've gone through, all of the games, all of the plays, all of the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs, you have this moment, right? So so how do we control the controllables? I can control my recovery. I can control how much I study. I can control working on my craft, right? I can control, evaluating the people that I'm playing against, right? I can control my mentality when we get ready to get into this game, right? Each and every day. What are the controllables? So control the controllables, and don't think beyond the moment. Don't think beyond the day, right? Why worry about tomorrow? Sufficient is the evil of today. So just focus on that particular thing, and then do the particular steps that you need to take, so that when you do get to that moment, you've done everything that you can possibly do and you're ready, right? I liken it to me getting my first start my junior year, and us playing TCU, and Tommy Blake at that time was a big deal. Right?
Yeah.
And I just remember, hey, this is my opportunity. Nobody really knows my name. Nobody really knows what I can do. It's all speculation at this particular point. So let me make a name off of this guy's name. And I just remember all of the extra work that I did, the studying, the preparation. I controlled the controllables, and I went out there and I had a great game. So I would tell him that. And then the last thing I would say is let it go, man. Let it go. Let the chips fall where they may. If you've done everything that you needed to do and you've prepared, then be fine with the result.
All right. Good question. Good thought that just came to my mind when you said something. You started as a junior. Okay. Guys don't have that kind of patience anymore, Tony. They're taught not to, almost, which is a problem, I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing for an offensive lineman not to have patience almost? I don't know how else to say that other than, look, guys jump ship the minute they're not a starter at so many positions. It hasn't been a rash of that at Texas, but they did lose Nate Kibble, Nato Mazulu, Daniel Cruz in the offseason, right? Guys that could have been really good depth pieces for the Texas offensive line, but not necessarily starters. What is your thought process behind that and today's college football?
I think it's subjective. You really have to evaluate the opportunity that you have in front of you. And it is the place that I'm at, is it going to give me the best opportunity to develop, right? Most of the times what you see in college ball now is you remove the 30,000 foot view of the NFL being the goal and being the best college player that I can be, so that I have an opportunity to get to the next level. You remove that and put it on the right now. And the issue that you have on the right now, at least what I've discovered, is that most people don't find success because they sacrifice long-term success on the altar of shortcoming, on short aspects, right? They're only thinking about what's happening in the now as it pertains to, I need to move because I'm not starting. And the reality is that it causes them not to look at themselves and say, hey, am I a starter? Am I developed in this moment to be a starter, right? So that was the quote. They sacrifice long-term success on the altar of short-term pleasure. Like, I want to be able to get to this money. Okay, great, you got the money, but you've just stifled your development. And if we're talking about offensive linemen, like the proof is in the proof is in the pudding, pun intended. Shout out to Pro League. But we have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coach in the country that has shown that he develops talent, right? And so why would you leave that just because it's not your moment? And I believe that's what we've lost. As great as NIL is, and I'm not saying diminish it or ban it or anything, keep it. But what we've lost, especially on the offensive lineman side, is that development piece. I believe now more than ever, offensive linemen are probably, if not the most underdeveloped position in football. I truly believe that. And so if you're jumping ship because you're like, I know I'm supposed to be starting, okay, cool, you can do that. And you can go to another school that doesn't play the same type of competition and probably have some success. But what is it going to cost you? And I don't think these young men have people in their ear that ask that question. What does making this move cost you? Yes, you get money, but on the long term, is it going to the next level? Because if it is, then development is crucial. And if it isn't, then do your thing.
Let me ask you, how many years did you play in NFL?
I retired year 10, so about a decade.
Okay. Did not start till his junior year, played 10 years in the NFL.
I didn't get on the field until my second year in the league.
But my point is, Tony, the patience was worth it.
Yes.
You see, I mean, to your point, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You got your body ready and everything going, and you were patient, and it paid off.
I didn't know if we can get a little inside scoop here, Tony. LSU's a little desperate. Have they reached out to you yet?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Would you take the call?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was making sure. Longhorn for life.
For sure. It's funny because I was just talking to Mama Tish not too long ago. I said, you know what? I think my 40-year-old body is paying for the 20-year-old decisions, right? Because I had to work out today, and it was a little tough. And the recovery on that, I might need some of that Mars Man, Blake. Shout out,
between you and Derek Johnson, and how fit you guys are at your ages, I think everybody's kind of in that thing. Hey, Tony, do us a favor, please, and tell us about your friends over at ProLeat that are now sponsoring your segment here on Texas Football.
Yeah. Shout out to ProLeat. So what ProLeat is it's an elevated protein shake that basically it operates and has peptides. It has the whey isolates, but the best part about that is zero added sugar. So most of the times when you look at these protein shakes, there's a lot of trash in them. But with this, it's all clean fuel. Everything that you need is operating within there. And there's two ways that you can do it. You can make it as a protein shake, or you can make it as a delicious pudding, like ice cream type of situation. So I like to use it that way. And so one of the things that I've started noticing is just the recovery aspect, right? Every time I have my ProLeat, the recovery is elevated. So you guys can go on there. Go to proleat-labs.com, promo code THills. That's proleat-labs.com, promo code THills, and you'll get your 10% off.
Thank you so much, Tony. Hope to see you soon, man. 10 days away. We put VY up there for 10 days away. Is there anybody else?
I mean, if you're talking about that number, I mean, I think that question has already been answered. That's the greatest number 10 to come through Texas, man. Right?
Have a good one, buddy.
Hook 'em hard,
man.
Hook 'em.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Tony. Good stuff. He's always just a breath of fresh air, man.
Yeah.
I mean, always and always.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Tony too is like at the Dallas, Texas X's, if you're standing in a group of people and they don't recognize his face, somebody will say, "Who the hell is that?" That guy's in really good shape. Like him and Sergio Kindle. I mean, Saturday at Texas X's. I mean, it was. Sergio hadn't had a carb since 2018, probably. Tony's done a great job. He still looks like he could play one snap.
Yeah, you and I were texting, and Jerry's like, "Hey, I need to get on the diet that Derek Johnson on and on the workout." I texted Jerry back this morning. I go, "Jerry, There is one thing that is different between you and how your results from that diet and that exercise regimen, and it's called DNA.
Yeah.
You ain't got his DNA.
No.
I just don't think it would be the same, my man.
I'm 27 tackles short against John Tyler in a playoff game, too. 27 short. Long way to go.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
We
Some
gotta-
DNA is just different, guys. It's just
We got to get to some super chats here in just a moment. But real quick, Bobby, tell us about Adam Lowy one more time, please, sir.
absolutely. Adam's a friend of the program. We appreciate him very much. Each and every episode on Wednesday, Coffee and Football, brought to you by our friend Adam Lowy at the Lowy Law Firm. If you've been injured in a car wreck, truck wreck, automobile accident of any kind and think you might be due compensation, Adam and his team give you a free, no strings attached consultation. Absolutely free, no strings attached. Reach out to him at loweylawfirm.com. Again, that is loweylawfirm.com. Thank you very much, Adam, for your ongoing sponsorship of On Texas Football.
By the way, a reason to watch a Baylor and NC State game this year. Daniel Cruz and Kibble are both starting at guards, right guard and left guard.
Former Longhorns. Yeah.
NC State's on Friday against Virginia
There you
or
go.
Saturday.
I want to bring this up from Reggie. He says, just found out my wife is pregnant with our first. Just moved to DFW, adopted Geyer as my new team. Football is back tomorrow and this weekend. Life is great. Hook 'em, baby. Congratulations, Reggie.
Man, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for
Wait till you see that little heartbeat, man. Woo. I mean, I'm serious. Certain things still send. Then after you see the heartbeat, and then they ask you, "Do you want to know the sex of the baby?" And you're like, "Oh shit!" That's when it became very real. It was no longer an it. It was a he or a she. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I was like, here, this is real.
we also need to say happy birthday, Rocky P. Today is my, and thank you for the super chat. Today is my wife's birthday. Pray for our bank account. I know that feeling. She knows y'all without ever watching. She is my rock and can't wait to celebrate with her.
Happy birthday to Mrs.
Happy
Rock.
birthday. Happy birthday to Mrs. Four.
Hey, does he yell out, Adrian? Yo, that would be very appropriate if your wife's name was Adrian.
Rocky, if I ever meet her, I'm going to call her Mrs. Poor. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Poor.
Oh, goodness. And one more sentimental super chat here from Sailor Joe. Seeing the USC moments being talked about, talking about the Vince Young documentary, brought a tear to my eye. I was 8 in the living room with my dad/family. I remember the feeling, and we have been chasing it ever since. Longhorn for life.
And I will say this, that was worth it. It's worth the chase because that feeling is one of a kind. It's one of the things that I'll never forget in my lifetime. And I think that it's worth chasing it, man. I really, really do believe that. And, a lot of us have, I was talking to my wife and I watched the VY documentary last night, Jerry and Blake and guys. And my wife was with us and one of my best friends and my dad at the game. I was in the press box. They were together. And my wife was like, man, I just remember that like it was yesterday. The whole scene, it was just surreal, especially those last 2 minutes. One of the things they did a really good job of articulating in the documentary was after the touchdown, how Vince did not celebrate real big or anything. He just held on to the ball. I thought that was nice. They had a good part in there from his sisters about that. And Vince gave his best Mac Brown impersonation as well. It was good stuff.
I can't wait to watch that.
I'm going to try to squeeze it in today or tomorrow for sure. Let's see here. Dre. Thank you, Dre. Appreciate your super chats as always. His petition to have Arch's butter soundbite playing DKR anytime he throws a dime in the end zone. LOL.
I totally agree with that. I think there should be, I don't know what it is, but something should come over the big screen. Texas absolutely needs to use this. I don't know if you get Arch can't because it'd be an NIL deal, but I don't know. Maybe you get some canister of butter and I don't know. You got to have something. You can't let this go all season without a playoff of it, though. I do know that.
He told folks yesterday where he got that saying from. It was actually from a walk-on quarterback, Cole Lord. Used to say butter when he threw a good one. Arch said he didn't realize that he said it as much as he does. And someone then said, well, you should get an NIL deal. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to get an NIL deal for butter. I will say this, Bijan got one for mustard.
Yeah, exactly.
Stranger things have happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Companies have 10 days.
Yeah.
10 days.
Terrence says, hey, Jerry, what brought you to Lobo Country last Friday? That's my neck of the woods.
Couple of things there. I was in the area. All the high school scrimmages in DFW, public school scrimmages, were on Thursday. And that gave me a really good reason to go see Coach King in Longview, Coach Sanford in Texas High. I've said this before. Longview Lobos Stadium is probably my favorite Friday night high school football place not in the state anywhere for me. My dad coached at Nacogdoches. I kind of grew up as a ball boy in that district. I just love that stadium. I used to go to every Lufkin at Longview game I could. This year the game's at Lufkin, I believe. This week, that is. But I just love. It could be I posted that on Instagram. It could be a scrimmage or a regular season game. There's something I just love about having my feet on the ground in that stadium. Coach King is one of my all-time favorite coaches, by the way. He is so funny. I mean, even at a scrimmage, it was like crazy. Coach Sanford's been really good to me over the years, ESPN Under Armour years. He had a couple of guys playing the Under Armour game. Great dude. They have good players there. Wanted to see Jaden Herndon is the 28 wide receiver, who I'll say this about him, even though it was a scrimmage setting, and we'll see where he's at with Texas on their board as this evaluations of the 28 class are just getting going in their junior year. He's faster than people think. That was my takeaway. He's a little more explosive, a little faster to get to his top end than I think given credit for. And he's 6'1", closing out 6'2", about 180, 185. All he's got to do is keep that car on the straight line, and he has a chance to have a really good career. He's a solid football player, faster than you think.
Good stuff.
And by the way, the Texas High has an offensive tackle. I sent this to the group. Quay Ford, who literally picked SMU over Ohio State and Georgia. He's 6'5" and change, 330. Smallest foot I've ever seen on a 6'5", 300-plus pound11 and a half shoe. It doesn't look real on his foot. Like, I wore a 13 and I put my foot up next to him. I'm like, wait, this can't be right. And then I went to Coach Sanford and said, do y'all ever kind of laugh at that? He said, yes. I was like, that is incredible. You have 11 and a half foot at 6'5", 330. It does not look right on that body.
Cade with the super chat. If Texas doesn't accomplish its goals this season, what do you think will ultimately be the reason why?
Two possibilities, in my opinion. Not meeting the moment when the moment's called for. And frankly, some luck. I mean, everybody needs a little luck. I mean, we can talk about Indiana and their great season last year. They had some luck against Penn State. I mean, great play. They met the moment, but they had some luck along the way. So I think it's two pieces: meet the moment and a little bit of luck. You need the ball to bounce your way certain times. You just do.
Yeah, disciplined football. I've been on the same thing all off season. If you look up in Texas in 125 to 135 range in penalties, you're not going to the playoff. There's got to be improvement there to
I,
start, and then you get to everything else.
I would add to that, disciplined football also means taking care of the football.
Yeah.
And playing smart football. It's not just about penalties to me.
Yeah.
When you say that.
Yeah.
Injury is a possibility too, obviously, but we're going to abstain from mentioning that word on this program for the next 10. Don't mind. This is definitely something I'm going to knock on wood. There's wood back here too. Knock on it.
The thing when you play a schedule like Texas has this in front of you this year, you can beat yourselves and still almost beat yourself and get away with it in some games. On this schedule, you're not going to beat yourself and get away with it. A team cannot beat themselves and get away with it.
We have a couple of other super chats to get to, but guys, there are. What's wrong, Bobby? There are a couple of events coming up while Bobby gathers himself. Third and Longhorn and On Texas Football meeting tonight in Houston at Social Beer Garden, and then tomorrow in San Antonio at Atlee's. Tell us more about it, Bobby.
Absolutely. I'm actually headed down to Houston here in about an hour. We're going to go to the Social Beer Garden today from 5 to 8. Come out. Flight's going to be out there, Yingling Flight, those guys, as well as Faust Distributing. And then on Thursday, we're going to be at Atlee's Rally over in San Antonio, again, from 5 to 8. It won't just be Jerry and I. It will be actually multiple people of the On Texas Football crew. Rod Babers will be there as well. I think Hank South, Jeff are going to come into a couple of them, CJ Vogel. It also will be the Third and Longhorn crew. And we're going to try to simulcast the show tonight at around 7 o'clock, or could be 6:30 when we get going with Third and Longhorn. Hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to try our best to have some fun. I just got to say this. Last time we had so much fun in Houston. Please come again. It was a fun deal. I mean, it was just a good time. A lot of positive vibes about Longhorn football. Good to meet up and see a bunch of folks that we don't get a chance to see every year or every so often.
And then, of course, this weekend, fellas, on Sunday, August 30th, from 5 to 9 at Victory Lap, Bobby, eBay Live will be there with a ton of Texas players,
including Vince Young. Vince Young going to show up, former Longhorn. Austin, get ready. eBay Live is coming to Texas. Kick off the college football season with us on Sunday, August 30th at Victory Lap on West 24th Street from 5 to 9 p.m. See appearances from Colin Simmons, Ryan Wingo, Emmett Mosley, Lance Jackson. I mentioned also Vince Young. They go live on eBay Live to sign and auction exclusive UT memorabilia in real time, all hosted by former Longhorn Emmanuel Acho. Plus, enjoy fan experiences, giveaways, and plenty more throughout the night. Victory Lap, August 30th, 5 to 9 p.m. this coming Sunday. Kick off the season with eBay Live in Austin. We'll be over there as well.
Okay, guys, like I said, we have a couple of supers left here. First one from Juan. He says Jeff Fisher was a jerk in the documentary.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how to tell you this without, I am I can see when coaches are no nonsense guys. Okay. There is such a thing as a no nonsense guy, and it works. And it has worked. He goes beyond the pale. He goes into the territory of absolutely no excuses for any reason whatsoever, no compassion. It's all a business. And what's more, he's petty about it. So it's one thing to be no nonsense and this is the way things are going to be. But then he becomes petty about the issues beyond that. And that's where I just have no I have no tolerance for somebody like that. They are who they are, but he took it to a level that's just unnecessary. And I do believe that there was a part of that story. That documentary is not all touchy-feely, by the way. I want to be clear about that. It's not all great stuff about Vince or the University of Texas at his time there. It also delves into his time as a pro and that time in Tennessee with Jeff Fisher was, I think, humbling for Vince, clearly. And it depicts that very well. I do want to say this. We're going to have the director of the film, of the documentary film, on Saturday morning for the Saturday conversation. John Henyon, I actually met with him last Friday over at the business school at UT, just talking to him with a mutual friend. And, long story short, we're going to have him on Saturday, maybe learn a little bit more from behind the scenes of what he uncovered in the Untold Story Vince Young show.
There you go. Good stuff.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to close with this one here from Mulligan Molly. Score prediction: Texas versus Texas State. Obviously, this official score prediction's out next week. But off the cuff here, guys, what's your score prediction?
I think I'm between 49 and 52 on offense. Really, I think the delta is 45 to 55. Okay, that's kind of my for Texas. And then for Texas State, my number is anywhere from 21 to 10. And so I'm going to go 52-17. That's where I'm at right now mentally for this game. 52-17.
I'm around 45-ish, 17. It really depends on how Sark wants the game to go. I mean, that
and whether or not Texas State actually puts some drives together.
Yeah.
If they eat up some clock, that can lower the score too.
I got 38-10.
That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the line, Blake?
30
and a half.
Yeah, 30 and a half, 31, depending on what book you go to. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Coffee and Football, presented by Adam Lowy and the Lowy Law Firm. We want to thank Adam, along with Prize Picks, Shields, Marsmen, Mint Mobile, the eBay Live event, and don't forget Third and Longhorn starting tonight in Houston, the tour with them, and then tomorrow night in San Antonio. Bobby, what do you have later?
We got state of the program. Jerry, Rod, and I are going to talk about this. Have we heard anything or seen anything in the preseason, in this preseason camp, that actually changes our overall outlook on the 2026 season? You know, some people may say arch, some people may say offensive line. I mean, whatever. That's going to be the question that we address. Myself, Jerry, Rod Babers, Jeff Howe's going to host it for us today.
Good stuff. And don't forget, we can't be live all the time, but we are over on ontexasfootball.com. Take advantage of this offer. This is a limited time offer. $3 for 3 months. Get the best Horns coverage out there. Practice coverage, breaking news, team coverage, insider access, recruiting intel, and just a great community. Remember, we can't get to all your questions either on here, but if you go over there, you can ask them on the message board. So come join us over at ontexasfootball.com. This is for new subscribers only, $3 for 3 months. And on that note, we hope you all have an outstanding day. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. So for Bobby Burton and Jerry Hamilton, I'm Blake Monroe, and we'll see you then.